While I was listening to my colleagues who were making the presentations, I had to change what I want to say, because many things that I intend to say have been really said. And my contribution will be on what are we going to do as a content in that European doctorate. Because when we see what we are doing in Europe in the doctorate, we see large differences. In the continental approach, we see a PhD that's mainly concentrating on research and writing a thesis. And that is, they are preparing people to do independently research in their field, fundamental research or applied research. And they must read, this must grow towards a contribution that means a development of new knowledge in your field. And you also are prepared to spread that new knowledge. Exactly what you heard about the Kurt Lewin Institute, as they are doing in Holland. And this actually is the case in many, what I call continental universities. Belgium, France, Germany, they all do it in the same way. But we also have, at the moment in Europe, some new developments towards what I would call an Anglo-Saxon approach. And there we see that a doctoral program includes more goals than just the research orientation. We see, if we go looking towards the counseling trainings, and very broadly, I'm not only talking about the career counseling, but very broadly counseling, we see that we find three goals. The first goal is what I would call preparation for being a professional psychologist or a professional counselor. And that includes some objectives as, for instance, knowing professional standards and conduct, knowing the scientific foundations of your field, knowledge of the skills and theories in the psychological practice, and also develop the relational skills. This is a part that is not used in many European countries. This is new. The second goal that you will find in those approaches is that you must understand the scientific basis for your practice. That means you must have knowledge of methods and research methods and develop research skills. You must have knowledge of application of these methods in your practice, and you must have also knowledge of applying the scientific basic thinking in your practice. So actually the research component is just a second goal. There's a first one, that is being a professional psychologist. Second goal is the research component. And then we see a third component. And that's a very recent one. That's due to our global society and our global world we are growing to. That is multicultural competencies and social justice orientation. This is a third goal. For instance, this means awareness. This may include skills in these aspects, and this also includes knowledge in these aspects. As you see, a doctoral program in that approach is much larger. And this is related to who are the persons we are accepting to such a doctoral program. If you are accept people who have been already narrowly trained in psychology and counseling at bachelor and master level, and you allow them to enter the doctoral program, in that case, you can say we only concentrate on the research. However, if you accept people who are coming from another background, and what Valerie showed, the first 23 people who are coming for the first summer school of our project, Those people have different backgrounds. Not all of them are already knowledgeable and well trained in career counseling and career guidance. So that means that we may need to give attention to those aspects and to train these people. And the question becomes, what do we have in our program, our doctoral program, at the end? I think that given the fact that we are developing in a new direction in Europe, under the influence of what is happening in the rest of the world, we may need to grow to a kind of PhD program where you have the 3 goals, as I've mentioned them. And depending on your background, and depending on what you can present as your profile, some aspect may disappear, and more attention is given to one of these goals, and less attention is given to the other one. This is just reflections. And I think that the group who is doing this work will need to work a lot on it, and will discuss, may need to discuss a lot on it. So the only thing I can say is, we are just at the start for long discussions and a long, hard period, many hours of work.